with all your experience and expertise, right? I'm curious, what kind of startups, right, with what specific problems can benefit from the most from you, just so you can apply your superpower to help them out. Because in the startup, here's my feeling, right? Every single one is facing a very specific different issues, right? So,
Mhm.
just so there is a potential, a good match or good information on who may be better talking to you, right? Is there
Mhm.
any specifics you can give to whoever is watching this video here?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to kind of like pitch myself too. And there's no shortage of brilliance growth advisors, especially in Silicon Valley, but it's like anywhere too. But what I'd like to think I bring to the table is, first of all, global mindsets. Because again, going back to my experience, like working in an emerging market and then like mature markets like the UK, and then like global perspective as I led various like global leadership roles here. So I like to shift the founder's attention doing the businesses the global way, like think global but act local. Like there's a time when you need to act local too. Again, just one example is when you're doing coupons in the US, it's like so different than you're actually running a coupon campaign in e-commerce in Europe, because there's all the EU restrictions too, and like the way like you structure deals, like that's a whole different dynamic. So when you're like really sitting in like a startup office here and there's just getting some version out there, always know in Europe or in any other country outside the US, like this is not going to likely like land the same way. So I'd like to think that I open their mindset to like thinking more globally, giving some examples of what need to be like paid attention to like locally in other markets. That's one. And then secondly, given I played roles both in marketing, in growth marketing side of things, in field marketing, and like product marketing, but also outside marketing, like in product manager and partnerships team. So can I walk in their I've walked in their shoes, talk their language. So more cross-functional than just one specific like domain. And yeah, and then also again, it's not like a Googler coming in, ex-Googler coming in and teaching them how to do business. It's like someone with a lot of like startup P experience and scrappiness inside her, being like sitting with them and being one of them. So I want to make sure that they have that sentiments, and so we build the right chemistry from day one. It's not like me knowing everything and then coming to them to teach anything, but like we're just like figuring it out. And again, I'm going to go back to my first point and repeat it. Like it's a humbling experience for all growth leaders today, because doing growth is actually at a turning point, and driving growth in the AI world is going to be so much more different. So we're also testing and learning a lot for ourselves too. So yeah, it's very exciting for us to actually like learn from the startups too, not just try to understand their industry, but also try to reinvent growth discipline with the support of like the new AI tools and the whole like trend around it.
Got it, got it. Yeah, that's super helpful. I think two aspects the founders could take away from this one is, right. One is having a growth partner who had a vast range of skill sets and knowledge, is just to not, instead of expecting everything would be just readily, right, usable, although some might expect that, right. But more importantly, someone could leverage the experience to learn together, right? Just so the gaps and problem will be solved quicker. I think that's really the
Mhm.
mindset to where the benefit from you would be maximized, right? The other one is also the global view, because so many startups, I've seen so many founders from all parts of the world coming to the US to build their global day one, right? But very rarely the founder has a global experience. Like even this morning, I was chatting with a company I work with. The founder just magically say, "Hey, somehow I realized the activity and the usage from India market was 10 times higher than average. What's going on, right? Do they somehow they find a fit?" I'm like, "Yes, do it, right? Get a Indian specific landing page, right? Do something more specific to this audience." That's where the
Exactly. And I just had an experience almost the reverse of this. So it's a Europe-based company. It's
Mhm.
a cybersecurity like automation company, and they have good client outreach in Europe, and they're now trying to expand to the US first and then globally next. And they set up this like chat box. So like when you are on the website, like, hey, welcome, can I answer your questions? It's great. And so little do they know that's actually and I'm asking that should be generating a lot of like revenue or kind of like interest traffic, because it's on the website, it pops up immediately, so it's like really attention grabbing. And they're like, yeah, there's some leads coming, but we're not able to convert. And then I'm actually like testing it out, only to realize that since I'm in the US and I'm like responding, hey, I need help with this, that's like they didn't like turn on the chat bot to chat with me. So they're like, hey, we're out of office right now, we'll get back to you shortly. I'm like, how come
Oh no.
actually want to expand to the US and then not be available in the US hours, and just put a chat bot or put like a white paper here to keep the user interested, intrigued while you're actually waking up, and so on. So, or just hire a fractional person supporting you in the US. And so basically all these like things are the pains of growing up when you're local in one region and need to think more global and broadly.
Yeah, exactly. Having that global view can provide a different perspective to the team. That's highly valuable, and I think more realizing that, and in that sense, right, your experience would be so valuable to them. I'm sure.
Hopefully, yes.